Battleship is a 2012 American military science fiction action film loosely based on the board game of the same name by Hasbro. The film was directed by Peter Berg from a script by brothers Jon and Erich Hoeber and stars Taylor Kitsch, Alexander Skarsgård, Brooklyn Decker, Rihanna in her feature film debut, Tadanobu Asano, Hamish Linklater, and Liam Neeson. Filming took place in Hawaii and on usaMissouri. In the film, the crews of a small group of warships are forced to battle against a naval fleet of extraterrestrial origin in order to thwart their destructive goals. Battleship premiered in Tokyo on April 3, 2012, and was released by Universal Pictures in the United States on May 18, 2012. The film received generally negative reviews and underperformed at the box office, grossing $303 million worldwide against a production budget of $209 to $220 million, losing both Universal and Hasbro $150 million. Plot: in 2005, potentially habitable planet G is discovered, and in 2006, a communications array to reach any extraterrestrial life is built in Oahu. There, a slacking Alex Hopper is arrested while attempting to impress Samantha Sam Shane, daughter of Admiral Terrence Shane. Alex's brother, Commander Stone Hopper, furiously forces Alex to join the U.S. Navy. 6 years later, Alex is a lieutenant aboard the USS John Paul Jones and in a relationship with Sam, a physical therapist working with wounded veterans. While Stone is a model officer commanding the USS Sampson, the rebellious Alex, despite showing plenty of potential, is facing a disciplinary discharge. During the 2012 RIMPAC exercise, 5 alien spacecraft arrive. Their communications ship hits a satellite and crashes through the Bank of China Tower in Hong Kong, while the others plunge into the waters off the coast of Hawaii. Sampson, John Paul Jones, and Japanese destroyer JDS Myoko discover a floating structure that generates an impenetrable force field isolating the Hawaiian Islands and the 3 destroyers from the rest of the world, and jamming all radar and communications inside. 3 alien warships surface, and first contact devolves into a battle after the humans decide to fire a warning shot across the aliens' bow. Myoko is destroyed, Sampson is lost with all hands including Stone, and John Paul Jones' command personnel are killed, leaving Alex to reluctantly take charge as the next highest-ranking sailor on board after the executive officer is also lost. John Paul Jones disengages to recover Myoko's survivors, including Captain Yuji Nagata, while alien drones destroy Oahu's military bases. Hiking near the communications array, Sam and retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel and double amputee Mick Canales discover the aliens' presence. They encounter scientist Cal Zapata, who reveals the aliens have taken over the array to re-establish communications with their home planet. The John Paul Jones crew captures an alien, which telepathically shows Alex images of alien conflict and planetary destruction. More aliens board and retrieve their comrade while one starts sabotaging the ship. Its armored suit proves impervious to small arms fire, but it is obliterated by the destroyer's 5-inch gun, and the captured alien's helmet reveals their eyes are sensitive to sunlight. Ashore, Sam, Mick, and Cal recover his spectrum analyzer, using it to radio John Paul Jones that the aliens will contact their planet and most likely call for reinforcements when the facility's satellite is in position in 4 hours. As night falls, Hopper realizes they have no visibility. Nagata suggests using the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, tsunami warning buoys around Hawaii to track the warships without radar. This plan works and allows John Paul Jones to destroy 2 of them. The third proves too elusive, so they lure it into facing east as the sun rises. Alex and Nagata shoot out its bridge windows with sniper rifles, blinding its crew with sunlight and allowing John Paul Jones to destroy it. The destroyer then attempts to target the communications array, but is sunk by drones launched from the alien structure emitting the force field. Alex, Nagata, and several other sailors barely escape. The survivors commandeer the decommissioned World War II battleship usaMissouri with the aid of retired Navy veterans. The floating structure is revealed to be a giant mothership, but Missouri disables the force field, allowing Admiral Shane to scramble fighter jets from the aircraft carrier USS Ronald Reagan. The battleship's turret carrying the ship's last shell is disabled, forcing the sailors to carry the shell to the ship's last functioning turret. Sam, Mick, and Cal stall the aliens at the array, where Mick kills an alien soldier. Alex uses the final shell to destroy the array, rendering the Missouri defenseless, but the mothership's drones are destroyed by Royal Australian Air Force F/A-18 fighter jets, as reinforcements carpet bomb the mothership, eliminating the alien threat. Alex is promoted to lieutenant commander and presented with a Silver Star and his brother's posthumous Navy Cross. Admiral Shane promises Alex will soon have a ship of his own, while he is also recommended to become a Navy SEAL. Alex asks him for Sam's hand in marriage. The Admiral initially refuses, but invites Alex to lunch. In a post-credits scene, some people in Scotland are scared off by an alien that emerges from something that fell from the sky. Cast: Taylor Kitsch as Lieutenant Alex Hopper, a highly spirited but undisciplined U.S. Navy weapons officer on USS John Paul Jones. Alexander Skarsgård as Commander Stone Hopper, Alex's older brother, commanding officer of USS Sampson. Rihanna as Gunner's Mate Second Class Cora Rakes, on USS John Paul Jones. Brooklyn Decker as Samantha Shane, a physical therapist and Alex's girlfriend. Tadanobu Asano as Captain Yuji Nagata, JMSDF, commanding officer of JDS Myoko and Alex Hopper's rival turned friend. Liam Neeson as Admiral Terrence Shane, commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet and father of Samantha Shane. Hamish Linklater as Cal Zapata, a scientist working on Oahu. Jesse Plemons as bosun's mate Seaman Jimmy Ordy Ord, who is sarcastic and doubtful of Alex, on USS John Paul Jones. John Tui as Chief Petty Officer Walter Beast Lynch, a crewmate of USS John Paul Jones. Hoji Yoshida as Chief Engineer Hiraki, a crewmate of JDS Myoko. Gregory D. Gadsden as Lieutenant Colonel Mick Canales, a U.S. Army combat veteran and double amputee. Adam Godley as Dr. Nagrady, the scientist leading the Beacon program. Peter McNichol as the U.S. Secretary of Defense. Jerry Ferrara as Samson Jood Strodell. Stephen Bishop as JP Jood. Josh Pence as Chief Moore. Rami Malek as Lieutenant Hill. Louis Lombardi as the bartender. Gary Grubbs as U.S. Air Force Chief of Staff. Production: Alexander Skarsgård, Brooklyn Decker and Peter Berg promoting the film at WonderCon 2012. Battleship was greenlit with a production budget of $150 million but went through a troubled pre-production. Universal at one point considered canceling the film, which would have resulted in a $30 million loss. However, new chairman Adam Fogelson decided the studio would lose less money if they increased the budget of the film instead of outright cancelling it. Filming was set to take place in Australia's Gold Coast in 2010, but changed location due to a lack of Australian government tax incentives and a high estimated budget of $220 million. 5. Filming took place in the United States on the Hawaiian islands of Maui and Oahu, as well as on the mainland where they had to film a few apartment scenes in Sherman Oaks, California. A driving scene and a shootout were filmed in Playa del Rey, California. 6. Some scenes were filmed in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 7. Further filming was done on the decommissioned Iowa-class battleship usaMissouri. 8. Featured in the film were the real-life guided missile destroyers USS Ben Fold, DDG-65, USS John Paul Jones, DDG-53, and USS Sampson, DDG-102, all of which are active members of the U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet. The JS Myoko, DDG-175, a Kongo-class destroyer of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, also appeared in the film. 9. The Science and Entertainment Exchange provided science consultation for the film. 10. Casting: Jeremy Renner was originally considered for the role of Hopper. 11-12 In April 2010, it was reported that Taylor Kitsch had been cast as Alex Hopper 1213. Alexander Skarsgård played his brother Stone Hopper, Brooklyn Decker stars as Sam, Hopper's fiancé, and Liam Neeson as Admiral Shane, Sam's father and Hopper's superior officer. 1415 Barbadian R&B singer Rihanna makes her acting debut in the film, as a sailor. 16 In an interview with GQ, Berg explained how he came up with the idea to cast her. He realized she could act after her appearance on Saturday Night Live. 17 She accepted the role because she wanted to do something badass and also because it wasn't a role too big for her to play. 18. Tadanobu Asano has a role in the film as the commander of the Japanese Kongo-class destroyer Myoko. Double amputee U.S. Army Colonel Gregory Gadsden, who had never acted before, plays LTC Mick Canales. 19 He was cast after Berg saw a picture of him in National Geographic. 20. The film marks the reunion between former co-stars Kitsch and Jesse Plemons, who previously worked together on Berg's television series Friday Night Lights. Berg said he loves working with friends and explained he knew how comfortable Kitsch was with Plemons. I know that he's really good for Taylor and he makes Taylor better. So, I wrote that whole part for Jesse. He added, I never thought of it as a Friday Night Lights reunion. I thought of it as protection, bringing a trusted family member in. 21. U.S. Navy sailors were used as extras in various parts of this film. Sailors from assorted commands in Navy Region Hawaii assisted with line handling to take Missouri in and out of port for a day of shooting in mid-2010. A few months later, the production team put out a casting call for sailors stationed at various sea commands at Naval Station Mayport, Florida to serve as extras. 22 sailors were also taken from various ships stationed at Naval Station Mayport, Jacksonville, Florida, namely USS Hugh City, USS Carney, and USS Vicksburg were some of the ships that provided sailors. 23. Music. Main article, Battleship, soundtrack. Due to his success with the Transformers franchise, composer Steve Jablonsky was chosen to score the official soundtrack. The soundtrack features original compositions from Jablonsky and features rock guitarist Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. Director Peter Berg stated, "Working with composers often is a really frustrating experience because you speak a different language and, oftentimes, they take 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. They're difficult and pretentious and they're tormented artists. I'm not going to name names, but most of them are. One guy who isn't is Hans Zimmer, who taught Steve Jablonsky. We had a couple of meetings, and I came up with this idea. The day I met with him, I had an MRI for my neck, and they make that really scary sound. I was like, I just had this MRI, and when I was in there, I was thinking about the aliens, and it was really scary." And he was like, "Oh, that's awesome." He went and recorded MRIs and made music out of MRIs, and that's the theme of the aliens in our film. He is no drama, and just goes and gets it done. The score is big and awesome and scary and driving. At times, it's very simple and acoustic and touching and emotional. He's the best I've ever worked with. 24. Release. Taylor Kitsch, Rihanna and Brooklyn Decker at the Battleship Australian premiere in April 2012. The film was originally planned to be released in 2011, but was rescheduled to May 18, 2012, in the United States. 25. The film's world premiere took place in Tokyo on April 3, 2012. Citation needed. The event was attended by director Peter Berg, actors Taylor Kitsch, Brooklyn Decker, Alexander Skarsgård and Rihanna. Later on they initiated a press tour visiting Madrid, London, and Cartagena de Indias to promote the film. Citation needed. Home media. Battleship was released on DVD and Blu-ray on August 20, 2012, in the United Kingdom 26 and on August 28 in the United States and Canada. 27. Its revenue was $32.4 million. Battleship was released on 4K Blu-ray on January 17, 2017. 28. It received a novelization written by Peter David. 29. Reception. Box office. Battleship grossed $65.4 million in the United States and Canada, and $237.6 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $303 million, against a production budget of $209 million. 2. In May 2012, The Hollywood Reporter estimated that Universal would lose $150 million on the film. 30. The film opened in several territories on Wednesday, April 11, 2012, 5 weeks before its North America release, grossing $7.4 million. 31. Through April 13, the film had earned a 3-day total of $25 million. 32. By the end of its opening weekend, it earned $55.2 million from 26 markets, ranking second behind the 3D re-release of Titanic. 33. In its second weekend, it topped the box office outside North America, with $60 million. 34. In South Korea, it achieved the highest grossing opening day for a non-sequel and the third highest overall, $2.8 million. 32. In comparison to other Hasbro films, Battleship's opening in the United Kingdom, £3.76 million, was behind the first Transformers, £8.72 million, but did better than G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, £1.71 million. 35. In the United States, Battleship grossed $8.8 million on its opening day, with $420,000 from midnight showings. 36. It went on to debut to $25.5 million, finishing in second place behind Marvel's The Avengers. 37. 38. 39. Critical response. Rotten Tomatoes reports that 34% of 225 critics gave the film a positive review and an average rating of 4.6/10. The site's critics' consensus reads, "It may offer energetic escapism for less demanding filmgoers, but Battleship is too loud, poorly written, and formulaic to justify its expense, and a lot less fun than its source material." 40. Metacritic assigned the film a weighted average score of 41 out of 100, based on 39 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. 41 audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A+ to F scale. 42. Megan Lehman of The Hollywood Reporter thought that the impressive visual effects and director Peter Berg's epic set pieces fight against an armada of cinematic cliches and some truly awful dialogue. 43. Empire magazine's Nick DeSemlian felt there was a lack of character development and memorable action shots, and sums up his review of the movie in one word: miss. 44. Many reviews criticized the based on a board game concept driving the film, although some, such as Jason DeRosso from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation's Radio National, claimed the ridiculousness of the setup is either sheer joy or pure hell, depending on how seriously you take it, while DeSemlian had to admire the film's creators jumping through hoops to engineer a sequence that replicates the board game. 44. 45. 46. Several compared the film to Michael Bay's Transformers film series in terms of quality and cinematic style, with Giles Hardy of the Sydney Morning Herald claiming that the movie finds the same balance between action-packed imagination and not taking the premise seriously that made Michael Bay's original Transformers such a joyride. 43. 45. Andrew Harrison of Q Magazine called the film crushingly stupid. 47. Film critic Kenneth Turan, in a review written for the Los Angeles Times, also expressed disappointment, criticizing the film's humanoid aliens, stating that they are as ungainly as the movie itself, clunking around in awkward, protective suits. He called the content all very earnest, but added it's not a whole lot of fun. 48. Peter Traverse of Rolling Stone gave the film 1 out of 4 stars, and he commented Battleship is all noise and crashing metal, sinking to the shallows of Michael Bay's Armageddon and then digging to the brain extinction level of the Transformers trilogy. 49. Other critics were less harsh for Battleship, writing for Time, Stephen James Snyder was somewhat positive because he had low expectations of the film. He wrote, "The creative team behind this ocean-bound thriller decided to fill the narrative black hole with a few ingredients all but absent from today's summer tentpoles, namely mystery, nostalgia, and a healthy dose of humility, and described it as an unlikely mix of Independence Day, Pearl Harbor, Jurassic Park and The Hunt for Red October." 50. Giving it a B+ grade, Lisa Schwartzbaum of Entertainment Weekly said, "For every line of Howler dialogue that should have been sunk, there's a nice little scene in which humans have to make a difficult decision. For every stretch of generic sci-fi via CGI movie making, there's a welcome bit of wit." 51. The Washington Post gave the film a 3-star rating out of 4, commenting it is an invigorating blast of cinematic adrenaline. 52. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 2.5 stars out of 4, praising the climax as an honest-to-God third act, instead of just settling for non-stop fireballs and explosions, as Bay likes to do. "I don't want to spoil it for you. Let's say the greatest generation still has the right stuff and leave it at that." 53. Accolades. List of awards and nominations. Award category recipient, S. Result. Annie Awards 54 Best Animated Effects in a Live-Action Production. Willie Geiger, Rick Hankins, Florent Andorra, Florian Witzel, Aaron Bonner nominated. Golden Trailer Awards 55 Best Sound Editing. Best Summer Blockbuster 2012 TV Spot. Houston Film Critics Society 56 Worst Film. Golden Raspberry Awards 57-58 Worst Picture. Worst Director Peter Berg. Worst Supporting Actor Liam Neeson. Worst Supporting Actress Brooklyn Decker. Rihanna won. Worst Screenplay Jon Hoeber and Erich Hoeber nominated. Worst Screen Ensemble. Saturn Awards 59 Best Special Effects Grady Kofer, Pablo Hellman, Jeannie King, and Burt Dalton. Teen Choice Awards 60 Choice Movie Breakout Rihanna won. Visual Effects Society 61 Outstanding Visual Effects in a Visual Effects Driven Film Grady Kofer, Pablo Hellman, Kevin Elam, Glenn McIntosh nominated. Outstanding FX and Simulation Animation in a Live-Action Feature Motion Picture Florent Andorra, Willie Geiger. Rick Hankins, Florian Witzel. Video Game. A video game based on the film, titled Battleship, was released in May 2012, to coincide with the film's international release. The game was published by Activision and developed by Double Helix Games for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and developed by Magic Pockets for Nintendo Wii, Nintendo 3DS, and Nintendo DS. Board Game. Hasbro released several new editions of the classic board game, including an update to the regular Fleet vs. Fleet game and a movie edition, featuring the alien vessels and a card-based play mode. 62. See also: American Warships, the mockbuster film released at the same time and featuring one of usaMissouri's sister ships, USS Iowa. Under Siege, a 1992 film starring Steven Seagal also set aboard usaMissouri, but filmed on the USS Alabama. Battle, Los Angeles, a 2011 film portraying an alien force in direct combat with the U.S. military. Taylor Kitsch, born April 8, 1981, is a Canadian actor. He is known for portraying Tim Riggins in the NBC television series Friday Night Lights, 2006 to 2011. He has also worked in films such as X-Men Origins, Wolverine, 2009, Battleship, 2012, John Carter, 2012, Savages, 2012, Lone Survivor, 2013, The Grand Seduction, 2014, American Assassin, 2017, Only the Brave, 2017, and 21 Bridges, 2019. Kitsch starred in the second season of the HBO series True Detective, 2015, and the television film The Normal Heart, 2014, as well as portrayed David Koresh in the Paramount Network miniseries Waco, 2018, and a CIA ground branch operative in the Amazon Prime Video series The Terminal List, 2022. Early life. Kitsch was born in Kelowna, British Columbia. His mother, Susan Green, worked for the BC Liquor Board, while his father, Drew Kitsch, worked in construction. 2-3 His parents separated when he was 1 year old, and he and his two older brothers, Brody 4 and Damon, were raised by their mother in a mobile home park. 5-6 He also has two younger maternal half-sisters. Kitsch lived in Port Moody and Enmore. 7 He attended Gleneagle Secondary School in Coquitlam. 8 Kitsch started playing ice hockey at age 3-9, and played junior ice hockey for the Langley Hornets in the British Columbia Hockey League, before a knee injury ended his career in 2002. 10 Following his injury, Kitsch took nutrition and economics courses at the University of Lethbridge for a year and lived with his brother. 7. Career. Kitsch moved to New York City in 2002, after receiving an opportunity to pursue modeling with IMG. He studied acting. He supported himself as a nutritionist and personal trainer. 11 For a time in New York he was homeless and took to sleeping on subway trains. 12. In 2004, he relocated to Los Angeles, where he modeled for Diesel and Abercrombie & Fitch. 12-13 He appeared in the limited edition coffee table book About Face by celebrity photographer John Russo. 14. In 2006, Kitsch was cast in his breakout role on the NBC Sports teen drama television series Friday Night Lights, based on Peter Berg's 2004 film of the same name and set in the fictional town of Dillon, Texas. For 5 seasons Kitsch portrayed the role of Tim Riggins, a high school student who is the fullback/running back of the Dillon Panthers. 15 The series premiered in October 2006 to acclaim from critics and over 7.7 million viewers. 16 Kitsch has ruled out reprising his role in a potential film sequel to the television series. 17. Kitsch in 2012. He played Pog Perry in The Covenant, alongside Stephen Strait, Sebastian Stan, Laura Ramsey, Toby Hemingway, Jessica Lucas, and Chase Crawford. In February 2008, he signed on to play Gambit in the X-Men franchise spin-off X-Men Origins, Wolverine, released in May 2009. Of the fan-favorite character Gambit, Kitsch states, "I knew of him, but I didn't know the following he had. I'm sure I'm still going to be exposed to that. I love the character, I love the powers, and I love what they did with him. I didn't know that much, but in my experience, it was a blessing to go in and create my take on him. I'm excited for it, to say the least." 18. In 2010, Kitsch starred in Steven Silver's The Bang Bang Club, an historical drama set in South Africa that documents the final bloody days of the apartheid. 19 He had to lose 35 pounds in 2 months to play the role of photojournalist Kevin Carter, alongside Ryan Phillip and Malin Ackerman. 20 In November 2010, The Hollywood Reporter named Kitsch as one of the young male actors who is pushing, or being pushed into taking over Hollywood as the new A-list. 21-22 In the 2012 Disney film John Carter, based on Edgar Rice Burroughs' fantasy novel A Princess of Mars, he played the title character, a Confederate soldier who is transported to Mars. While the film flopped at the box office, Kitsch said, "I'm very proud of John Carter. Box office doesn't validate me as a person, or as an actor." 23. In May 2012, Kitsch starred in Peter Berg's Battleship, based on Hasbro's toy game, as Lieutenant Alex Hopper. 24. The film marked his reunion with Berg and former Friday Night Lights co-star, Jesse Plemons. 25. In July 2012, he starred in Oliver Stone's Savages, with Blake Lively, Salma Hayek and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Hitfix's film critic Drew McWeeny wrote positively of Kitsch's bond with Johnson, which he described as not only credible but lived in and authentic throughout the film. McWeeny wrote that Kitsch was used the right way in this film, with an ensemble cast that pushed him or challenged him in scenes which resulted in his playing them with appropriate intensity. 26. In 2013, Kitsch starred in The Grand Seduction, a remake of Jean-François Poliat's French-Canadian La Grande Seduction, 2003, directed by Don McKellar. 27. He also was in another Peter Berg film, Lone Survivor, based on Marcus Luttrell's book of the same name. 28. He plays alongside Jim Parsons, Julia Roberts, and Mark Ruffalo in Ryan Murphy's The Normal Heart, which aired on HBO on May 25, 2014. 29. Kitsch was in negotiations for the lead role in the American remake of The Raid. 30. The remake never became a reality. Kitsch starred in the sophomore season of True Detective, opposite Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams, and Colin Farrell. Kitsch was set to write, direct and star in the drama pieces. 31. In 2017, Kitsch starred in American Assassin and Only the Brave. In 2018, he played cult leader David Koresh in the Paramount Channel miniseries Waco. Later that year, it was announced that Kitsch had an in-development series which landed at HBO. From Sons of Anarchy writer John Barkeski and director Matt Shockman, the series would see Kitsch lead the cast and produce the series. In 2019, Kitsch starred in 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman and Sienna Miller. Also in 2019, it was announced that Kitsch would appear as the lead in Neil Blomkamp's Inferno. In 2020, Kitsch starred in the German TV series The Defeated, which also starred Michael C. Hall, Logan Marshall Green, Nina Haas, and Tuppence Middleton. He was tapped to replace Colson Baker, better known as Machine Gun Kelly, in the film Savage Salvation, where he would have starred alongside Robert De Niro and John Malkovich. Kitsch dropped out for unknown reasons and was replaced by Jack Houston. In early 2021, it was announced that Kitsch would star as Ben Edwards opposite Chris Pratt in Antoine Fuqua's The Terminal List. The rest of the cast includes Riley Keough, Constance Wu, and Jean Triplehorn. In 2025, he stars in the Netflix television series American Primeval alongside Betty Gilpin. Personal life. Kitsch purchased 3.64 acres, 1.47 ha, of land on Lake Austin, Texas in 2012-32 and began building a house there in 2015. 33. Kitsch currently resides in Bozeman, Montana. 34. While collaborating on the film Lone Survivor, he became friends with retired Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell and has since been interested in veterans issues. Alexander Johan Hjalmar Skarsgård, Swedish, Alec Sndrsko1, born August 25, 1976, is a Swedish actor. A son of actor Stellan Skarsgård, he began acting at age 7 but quit at age 13. After serving in the Swedish Navy, Skarsgård returned to acting and gained his first role in the U.S. comedy film Zoolander, 2001. He played Brad Colbert in the miniseries Generation Kill, 2008, and had his breakthrough portraying vampire Eric Northman in the television series True Blood, 2008-2014. After appearing in films such as Melancholia, 2011, Battleship, 2012, and The Legend of Tarzan, 2016, Skarsgård starred in the drama series Big Little Lies, 2017-2019, as an abusive husband, which earned him a Primetime Emmy Award and a Golden Globe Award. He went on to appear in the films Long Shot, 2019, Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021, Passing, 2021, The Northman, 2022, which he also produced, and Infinity Pool, 2023. He also played Randall Flagg in the miniseries The Stand, 2020-2021, and tech mogul Lucas Matson in the drama series Succession, 2021-2023, for which he was nominated for 2 Primetime Emmy Awards and a Golden Globe Award. As of 2025, he is starring in the science fiction comedy series Murderbot. Early life, family, and education. Skarsgård was born on August 25, 1976-3 in Stockholm, Sweden. 4. He is the eldest son of actor Stellan Skarsgård and physician Maj Skarsgård. 5. His parents are divorced. 6. He has 5 younger siblings, Gustav, Sam, Bill, Ija, and Walter, and 2 half-brothers from his father's second wife, Megan Everett. 7. 8. Gustav, Bill, and Walter are also actors. 7. A friend of his father, a director, gave Skarsgård his first film role when he was 7 years old, playing Kalnub in Ake and His World, Ake och Hans Varld. 9. In 1989, his lead role in the Swedish television production Hunden som lag, The Dog That Smiled, earned him praise and brought him to prominence in Sweden at age 13. 10. Uncomfortable with the fame, he quit acting at that same age. 11. At age 19, Skarsgård applied to perform his national service. He served in the Swedish Navy's Sakjakt, Protect and Hunt unit that dealt with anti-sabotage and anti-terrorism in the Stockholm archipelago, for 18 months. 12. After completing his service in 1996, he left Sweden and attended Leeds Metropolitan University in England for 6 months. He enrolled to study English but admits he did not study much and had a blast instead. 7. 13. While there, he considered pursuing an architecture career, but chose acting instead. 6. In 1997, he enrolled in a theater course at Marymount Manhattan College and moved to New York City. He returned to Stockholm after 6 months, but his time studying theater confirmed to him that he wanted to act. 7. 14. Career. 2001 to 2009, career beginnings and television breakthrough. A man with blonde hair and dressed in a black shirt and blazer smiles to his right. Skarsgård at the 2009 Paley Fest. On his return to Sweden, Skarsgård began landing roles in film, television, and theatrical productions. 7. While vacationing in the United States, he auditioned for and obtained the part of a mindless model in the 2001 film Zoolander 15, his first role in an American film. 6. In 2003, his performance in Hun Tricket the Movie, The Dog Trick, earned him an Guldbagge Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He was named the sexiest man in Sweden 5 times. 9. He moved to Los Angeles in 2004 but continued to work in Sweden. 16. His break came when he was cast as U.S. Marine Brad Colbert in the HBO miniseries Generation Kill. An adaptation of journalist Evan Wright's book of the same name, Generation Kill follows the 1st Reconnaissance Battalion of the United States Marine Corps during the early part of the Iraq War. Director Susanna White wanted to cast him, but executive producer David Simon was not convinced he could do a convincing American accent. After 4 auditions in 3 cities, Skarsgård learned the role was his just 36 hours before he had to board a plane for Namibia where the project was filming. The cast and crew spent 7 months in the desert there, shooting 6 days a week. Skarsgård worked with a dialect coach to master the American accent. 7/9/17. Just before leaving to shoot Generation Kill, Skarsgård heard about the development of True Blood, an HBO series based on the Southern Vampire Mysteries novels by Charlaine Harris 18, which chronicle the coexistence of humans and vampires in a town in Louisiana. 19. Though initially reluctant about playing a vampire, he sent an audition tape for the role of Bill Compton on learning that screenwriter Alan Ball was behind the project. 18. Skarsgård had been a fan of Ball's series 6 Feet Under and film American Beauty. The role went to Stephen Moyer, but Skarsgård was cast as Eric Northman, a 1,000-year-old Nordic vampire. 18. Northman first appeared in the first season's 4th episode 20 and the role brought Skarsgård to prominence. 21. To inform his portrayal, he studied the work of actors Max Schreck and Bela Lugosi and the film Nosferatu, 1922. 22. He said that playing Northman appealed to his preference for characters who were not simply diabolical or righteous. 11. True Blood ran on HBO from 2008 to 2014-23, receiving mixed reviews. 19. In 2009, Skarsgård appeared in the music video for pop singer Lady Gaga's Paparazzi. 18. He was the voice of Stefan in the 2009 animated film Metropia, directed by Tariq Saleh. 13. In 2010, Skarsgård portrayed Terj, a gay Norwegian trekking to the North Pole, in the British mockumentary Beyond the Pole. 24 Suit maker Hickey Freeman chose Skarsgård to model a new look. It debuted in 2010. Annie Leibovitz photographed the ad campaign, which appeared in the Wall Street Journal magazine, GQ, and Details. 25-26 Skarsgård appeared on the cover of the September 2010 issue of Rolling Stone with his True Blood co-stars Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer. 27. 2011, present, film and television success. A man with blonde hair wearing a darker colored shirt smiles as he sits at a table. Skarsgård at the 2012 San Diego Comic-Con. In 2011, Skarsgård starred in Melancholia, a film directed by Lars von Trier. He portrayed a newlywed alongside Kirsten Dunst as his wife in the film, which premiered at the 2011 Cannes Film Festival and also co-stars his father. 28-29 that same year, he appeared in Straw Dogs, a remake of the 1971 film of the same name, as Charlie Venner. The remake's director, Rod Lurie, transferred the small-town setting from Cornwall to Mississippi and described Venner as an ex-football star gone to seed. The film co-starred James Marsden and Kate Bosworth, and was released September 16, 2011. 12. In 2012, Skarsgård appeared alongside Taylor Kitsch and Rihanna in Peter Berg's Battleship, an adaptation of the Hasbro game of the same name. 30 negatively reviewed by critics, the film had a dismal performance at the box office. 21-31 he also appeared alongside Julianne Moore and Steve Coogan in Scott McGehee and David Siegel's film What Maisie Knew, an adaptation of the Henry James novel of the same name. 32 he was also part of the ensemble cast in Henry Alex Rubin's thriller Disconnect, playing opposite Paula Patton. 33 Skarsgård starred alongside Brit Marley and Elliot Page in Zalbat Mangli's 2013 film The East. 34 he appeared in the film The Diary of a Teenage Girl as a man who begins an affair with his girlfriend's underage daughter. 21 it was released in August 2015. In addition to being intentional about finding nuances in the character's predatory quality, Skarsgård admitted his excitement about playing the role without justifying or condoning his behavior. 29 he starred in the 2016 film The Legend of Tarzan, portraying the title character, opposite Margot Robbie as Jane. Skarsgård worked out for 7 months to prepare for the part. 35 the film did not generate success at the box office. 36 it received mixed reviews. 37 with Skarsgård's performance garnering praise. 38 he next portrayed a deviant policeman in the black comedy film War on Everyone, which was released that same year. 36. A man with blonde hair and dressed in a black suit at a film premiere. Skarsgård at the 2018 Toronto International Film Festival. From 2017 to 2019, Skarsgård starred in the drama series Big Little Lies as Perry Wright, an abusive husband to Nicole Kidman's character, Celeste. 39-40 he described his character as violent due to internal conflicts involving his insecurities about needing his wife. 38 the series earned universal acclaim. 41 reviewing the first season finale, The Hollywood Reporter's Daniel Feinberg found Skarsgård's performance utterly chilling. 42 Skarsgård won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie in 2017 for the role. 43 he starred in the science fiction film Mute as a silent bartender in a futuristic society, which was released in February 2018. 6 later that year, he starred as a secretive man in The Little Drummer Girl, a miniseries that chronicles political violence in Europe in 1979. 44 it received positive reviews. 45 in 2019, he portrayed a sensitive German architect in The Aftermath, a film set in 1946 post-war Hamburg. 46 he appeared in the romantic comedy Long Shot as the Prime Minister of Canada. Critics were fond of the film, with The Guardian's Christy Pico commending Skarsgård in the minor role and how he makes a meal out of it. 47-48 released in May 2019, it had an unsuccessful commercial performance. 49. Skarsgård starred in The Stand, a CBS All-Access miniseries based on the 1978 novel of the same name by Stephen King, portraying Randall Flagg, a charming demon. 50. It ran from December 2020 to February 2021. 51-52. He next starred in the 2021 monster film Godzilla vs. Kong, which earned positive reviews and commercial success. 53-54. Skarsgård recurred during the third season of the comedy-drama series Succession as tech mogul Lucas Mattsson. 55. For which he received a nomination for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. 56. He portrayed Leith in the epic film The Northman. Released in April 2022, the film garnered favorable reviews. 57-58. With Richard Lawson of Vanity Fair deeming Skarsgård a fine vessel for the film's opulent menace. 59. In 2023, Skarsgård starred in the thriller Infinity Pool. 60. And returned as Lucas Mattsson for the fourth and final season of Succession. 61-62. For his role as Mattsson, Skarsgård was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series in 2023. 63. In 2025, he starred in Pillion, film, which appeared at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival. 64. And 52nd Telluride Film Festival. Personal life. A football fan, Skarsgård supports Hammarby Fotboll, a club based in Stockholm, his birth city. 65. In October 2010, he donated several autographed items to Bajan Aid, the club's fundraising auction. 66. In July 2011, he received an honorary degree from Leeds Metropolitan University, which he had attended. 67. Skarsgård stated in 2018 that he is a feminist. 68. Skarsgård was the ambassador for the American team for a Walking with the Wounded fundraising event for wounded soldiers. 69-70. He trekked to the South Pole against Team UK, Prince Harry, ambassador, and Team Canada/Australia, actor Dominic West, ambassador. A few days into the trek, it was decided that the competition part would be cancelled due to hazardous terrain and weather conditions, so the teams combined forces and continued together, and all three successfully reached the South Pole on December 13, 2013. 71-72. Skarsgård is in a relationship with Swedish actress Tuva Novotny, and in 2022 the couple had their first child together. Rihanna Fenty/RIN/Rian34N1 born February 20, 1988, is a Barbadian singer, businesswoman, and actress. An influential figure in both music and fashion, her accolades include 9 Grammy Awards, 12 Billboard Music Awards, and 13 American Music Awards, with nominations for an Academy Award and a Golden Globe. Rihanna has been deemed one of the greatest artists in history by publications such as Rolling Stone and Billboard. After signing to Def Jam Recordings in 2005, Rihanna debuted with the Caribbean-inspired records Music of the Sun, 2005, and A Girl Like Me, 2006, both of which reached the top 10 of the US Billboard 200. The album spawned the singles Pon de Replay and SOS, which peaked at number 2 and 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, respectively. Adopting a more mature image, Rihanna transitioned to dance pop and R&B on the album Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007, and its reissue, subtitled Reloaded, 2008. The project spawned a string of successful singles, including the US #1 songs Umbrella, Take a Bow, and Disturbia. After exploring darker and more personal themes on the rock-imbued record Rated R, 2009, Rihanna returned to her more upbeat sound on the dance pop album Loud, 2010, incorporated R&B on Talk That Talk, 2011, and topped the Billboard 200 with her synth-pop set Unapologetic, 2012. After her departure from Def Jam in favor of Jay-Z's label, Roc Nation, she released the dancehall-influenced album Anti, 2016, her second #1 album. The albums contain the US #1 singles Rude Boy, Only Girl, In the World, What's My Name, S&M, We Found Love, Diamonds, and Work. Her films include Battleship, 2012, Home, 2015, Ocean's 8, 2018, and Smurfs, 2025. Rihanna is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with estimated sales of over 250 million records. The highest certified female digital single artist by Recording Industry Association of America, RIA, she has 7 U.S. Diamond certified singles and 14 #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100. She has become one of the wealthiest musicians through her business ventures, founding the nonprofit Clara Lionel Foundation, the cosmetics brand Fenty Beauty, and fashion brand Fenty under LVMH, becoming the first black woman to lead a luxury brand for the group. She was named an ambassador by the government of Barbados and declared a national hero of Barbados in 2021. Life and career. 1988 to 2002, early life. A small house prominently colored in red, green, and orange. Rihanna's parents' house in Bridgetown, just a few meters from the city's harbor. Robin Rihanna Fenty was born in St. Michael, Barbados, on February 20, 1988. 5'6". She is the daughter of Monica, née Braithwaite, an Afro-Guyanese accountant 7 and Ronald Fenty, a Barbadian warehouse supervisor of African, Irish, English, and Scottish descent. 8, 9, 10. Rihanna has 2 younger brothers, Rory and Rajat Fenty, as well as 2 half-sisters and a half-brother, Candy, Samantha, and Jamie, from her father's previous relationships. 11, 12. She was raised in a 3-bedroom bungalow in Bridgetown and helped her father sell clothes at a street stall. 13, 14. Her childhood was affected by her father's struggles with alcoholism and crack cocaine addiction, which strained her parents' marriage. 15, 16, 17. Rihanna has spoken about witnessing her father physically abuse her mother. 18. Retrospectively describing her as one of the strongest women I know, if not the strongest. 11. As a child, Rihanna suffered from intense headaches that required multiple CT scans, with doctors once suspecting a tumor. Her health began to improve after her parents divorced when she was 14. 19, 20, 21. She attended Charles F. Broome Memorial Primary School and Comonier School. 22, 23. One of her teachers described her as a well-behaved student who stayed out of trouble. 23. She showed an interest in singing, dancing, and poetry. Rihanna began listening to reggae artists such as Sizzla and Damian Marley, as well as R&B musicians like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. 24, 25. At the age of 11, she became a cadet in Barbados's Cadet Corps, with future singer Chantel as her drill sergeant. 24. Though she initially planned to finish high school, she ultimately dropped out at age 16 to pursue a music career. 26. 2003 to 2006, career beginnings with Music of the Sun and A Girl Like Me. In 2003, Rihanna formed a music trio with 2 classmates in Barbados. 27. Unnamed and without original material, the girl group auditioned for American producer Evan Rogers, who recalled that the minute Rihanna walked into the room, it was like the other 2 girls didn't exist. 28, 29. The trio went on to perform a cover of Destiny's Child's Emotion. 28, 30. Impressed, Rogers arranged a second meeting with Rihanna and her mother, this time without the other 2 girls, and later invited her and her mother to his hometown in Connecticut to record demo tapes for record label submissions. 31, 32. Rihanna's demo tape included tracks like Pon de Replay and The Last Time. 33, 34. In 2005, she became the first artist to sign with Syndicated Rhythm Productions, the production company founded by Rogers and Carl Sturken. 31, 35. Rihanna's demo was sent to rapper Jay-Z, who had just become the president and CEO of the record label Def Jam Recordings. 36, 37. Although Jay-Z initially thought Pon de Replay was too big for a new artist, he invited Rihanna to audition. In early 2005, she performed in New York City for Jay-Z and music executive Antonio L.A. Reid. singing Whitney Houston's For the Love of You along with demo tracks Pon de Replay and The Last Time. 31 38 39 Jay-Z was convinced she had potential. 40 and Reed instructed him not to let her leave the building without signing a deal. 41 She waited in Jay-Z's office while lawyers finalized a 6-album contract with Def Jam. 42 Rihanna cancelled meetings with other labels and, shortly after turning 16, relocated from Barbados to the US, finishing her high school education with a tutor. 34-43 Rihanna, in her late teens, facing the other way of the camera under a red light. Rihanna performing at the Kiss FM Jingle Ball in December 2005. After signing with Def Jam, Jay-Z and his team spent 3 months completing the Rihanna's debut studio album. 44-45 She collaborated with various producers, primarily Rodgers and Sturkin. 44 Pon de Replay was selected as the lead single for its summer appeal. 46 The song was released in May 2005 and became a commercial success, reaching number 2 on both the US Billboard Hot 100 and the UK Singles Chart. 47-48 34 Her debut studio album, Music of the Sun, was released on August 29, 2005. It debuted at number 10 on the US Billboard 200 with first week sales of 69,000 units. The album has since sold 2 million copies worldwide. 49-50 Its second single, If It's Lovin' That You Want, saw moderate success, peaking at number 36 in the US. 51 Rihanna made her acting debut with a cameo in the straight-to-DVD film Bring It On, All or Nothing, 2006, in which she portrayed herself. 52. Soon after releasing Music of the Sun, Rihanna began working on her second studio album. Titled A Girl Like Me, the record was released in the United States on April 25, 2006. 53-54 The album was a commercial success, reaching number 5 in both the US and the UK, and selling 115,000 copies in its first week. 55-56 It became her first RIA-certified double platinum album, surpassing 1 million units sold. 57 It spawned 4 singles, SOS, Unfaithful, We Ride and Break It Off. SOS became her first song to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. 58. 2007 to 2008, stardom with Good Girl Gone Bad. In early 2007, Rihanna featured on the single Roll It alongside Jamaican band J Status and fellow Barbadian artist John Tell from the former's debut album The Beginning. 59 During this period, she also began recording her third studio album. 60 Aiming to shed her girl next door image in favor of a more mature and rebellious persona, she teamed up with producers like Neo, Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, and Tricky Stewart for her third studio album. 61 The resulting album, Good Girl Gone Bad, was released on May 31, 2007, to critical acclaim. 62-63 Regarded as a turning point in her career. 64 It marked a shift from the Caribbean-influenced sound of her earlier work. 65 Embracing a more contemporary pop direction driven by up-tempo dance tracks. 66-67 The album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 162,000 copies in its first week. 68 Rihanna with a bob cut performing into a microphone on a stage. Rihanna performing at the Good Girl Gone Bad tour in 2008. The lead single from Good Girl Gone Bad, Umbrella, featuring rapper Jay-Z, topped the charts in several territories. It spent 10 consecutive weeks at number 1 on the UK Singles Chart and 7 at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. 69 The following singles, Shut Up and Drive and Hate That I Love You, saw moderate success, while the album's fourth single, Don't Stop the Music, became a globally successful song. 70-71 In support of the album, Rihanna embarked on the Good Girl Gone Bad tour in September 2007, performing 80 shows across 30 countries worldwide. 72 At the 2008 Grammy Awards, she received multiple nominations for Good Girl Gone Bad and won the Grammy Award for Best Rap/Sung Collaboration for Umbrella alongside Jay-Z. 73. In late 2008, she released Rehab, the fifth and final single from Good Girl Gone Bad. It peaked within the top 20 of the charts in both the US and UK. 74. Having sold 9 million copies as of 2023, Good Girl Gone Bad is her best-selling album worldwide. 50. Entertainment Weekly named her Diva of the Year and praised her newfound staying power. 75. In the late 2000s, Rihanna continued to increasingly distance herself from her Barbados island girl image. 31. In April 2008, Rihanna joined Kanye West as a supporting act on his Glow in the Dark tour. 76. In June, she released Good Girl Gone Bad, Reloaded, a reissue of her third studio album 65, selling 63,000 copies first week. It helped the original album rise to number 7 in the US. 77. Reloaded spawned 4 new tracks, 2 of which, Disturbia and Take a Bow, topped the Billboard Hot 100. 78. Soon after the release of Reloaded, she issued Good Girl Gone Bad Live, a DVD documentary featuring Rihanna's December 2007 concert at the Manchester Arena. 79. In 2008, she announced her romantic relationship with singer Chris Brown and topped the Hot 100 once again with a feature on rapper T.I.'s song Live Your Life. 80. 81. 2009 to 2011, domestic violence case, rated R, and loud. Rihanna, her right hand holding and performing into a microphone, with her left pointing at someone in the crowd. Rihanna performing at the Last Girl on Earth tour in 2010. On February 8, 2009, Rihanna was forced to cancel her scheduled performance at the 51st Annual Grammy Awards following reports that she had been physically assaulted by Brown, her then boyfriend. 82. He later turned himself into authorities and was booked on suspicion of making criminal threats. On March 5, 2009, he was formally charged with assault and making criminal threats. 83. The case garnered widespread media attention, particularly after TMZ published a leaked police photograph showing Rihanna with visible injuries. In response to the breach of privacy, the advocacy group Stop Paparazzi proposed Rihanna's law, aimed at preventing law enforcement personnel from releasing sensitive images or information that exploit crime victims. 84. Rihanna was later subpoenaed to testify at a preliminary hearing in Los Angeles on June 22, 2009. 85. The incident and its aftermath influenced her artistically, prompting her to begin work on her fourth studio album, Rated R, in early 2009. 86. 87. Released on November 20, 2009. 88. Rated R marked a shift away from the upbeat sound of Rihanna's earlier albums, embracing a darker, more introspective tone with rock influences. 89. 90. The album debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200 chart and sold 181,000 copies in its first week. 91. Its single Rude Boy peaked atop the Hot 100 for 6 weeks, becoming the best-selling song from Rated R. 92. Two other singles from the album, Russian Roulette and Hard, both peaked at within the top 10 of the US chart. 93. In support of the album, Rihanna embarked on the Last Girl on Earth tour in 2010. 94. Rihanna, with curly hair, performing on stage into a microphone. Rihanna performing at the Loud tour in 2011. Rihanna entered an on and off relationship with Canadian rapper Drake in 2009. 95. In June 2010, she collaborated with rapper Eminem on the single Love the Way You Lie. In the US, it topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 consecutive weeks. In the UK, it peaked at number 2 on the singles chart and became the best-selling song of 2010. 96. In October 2010, Rihanna switched management, signing with Jay-Z's Roc Nation. 97. Rihanna returned to her more upbeat sound with her fifth studio album, Loud, which was released on November 12, 2010. 98. A dance pop record. 98. Loud debuted at number 3 in the US with first week sales of 207,000 copies. 99. It spawned 3 Billboard Hot 100 #1 songs, the lead single Only Girl, In the World, What's My Name, featuring Drake and S&M, which topped the chart following the release of its remix featuring Britney Spears. 100. With the achievement, Rihanna became the youngest and fastest solo artist in Billboard Hot 100 history to accumulate 10 #1 singles. 101. 102. At the 53rd Grammy Awards in 2010, Only Girl in the World won Best Dance Recording. 103. The songs Man Down, California King Bed, and Cheers, Drink to That, were released as singles from Loud in 2011. 104. 105. To support the album, Rihanna launched the Loud Tour in June 2011, which included a record-breaking 10 sold-out shows at the O2 Arena in London, the most by a female artist in the venue's history. 106. 107. The tour grossed $90 million, making it one of the highest-grossing tours worldwide that year. 108. Also in 2011, she embarked on 3 successful collaborations: West's All of the Lights from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, 2010, 109. Nicki Minaj's Fly from her debut album Pink Friday, 2010, 110. And David Guetta's Who's That Chick? From One More Love, 2010. 111. 2011 to 2013, Talk That Talk and Unapologetic. Rihanna aimed to explore more sexually expressive themes on her 6th studio album, Talk That Talk. 112. 113, which was released on November 18, 2011. 114. A dance-oriented pop and R&B album. 113. 115. Talk That Talk opened at number 3 on the US Billboard 200 with first-week sales of 198,000 copies. 114. While debuting atop the UK singles chart with 163,000 units sold. 116. The album's lead single, We Found Love, became a worldwide chart topper. 117. It spent 10 non-consecutive weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it both Rihanna's longest-running chart-topping single and the longest-running number 1 song in the US in 2011. 118. 119. The follow-up singles, You Do 120. The title track featuring Jay-Z 121 and Where Have You Been 122 achieved more moderate success. The lattermost was the most successful of the 3, peaking at number 5 in the US. 123. Rihanna on stage, wearing a red crop top and long dress, singing into a microphone on stage. Rihanna performing at the Diamonds World Tour in 2013. In early 2012, Rihanna appeared on 2 major collaborations, Coldplay's Princess of China and Drake's Take Care. 124. 125. That February, she won the Grammy Award for Best Rap/Sung Collaboration for All of the Lights with West 126 and was named Best International Female Solo Artist at the Brit Awards for the 2nd year in a row. 127. In March, Rihanna and Brown released 2 controversial remixes, her track Birthday Cake and his Turn Up the Music, which were criticized due to their history of domestic violence. 128. 129. In September 2012, We Found Love won Video of the Year at the MTV Video Music Awards, making Rihanna the first woman to receive the honor more than once. 130. 131. Rihanna's 7th studio album, titled Unapologetic, was released on November 19, 2012. 132. A synth-pop record with EDM and hip-hop elements. 133. 134. Unapologetic debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 with first-week sales of 238,000 copies, becoming Rihanna's first chart-topping album in the United States. 135. The album's lead single, Diamonds, topped the US Billboard Hot 100, becoming Rihanna's 12th number 1 song on the chart. 136. The album's second single, Stay, a collaboration with Mickey Echo, reached number 3 in the US. 137. To promote the album ahead of its release, Rihanna embarked on the 777 tour, performing 7 shows in 7 countries over the course of 7 days. 138 A documentary about the tour aired on Fox in May 2013, followed by the release of a DVD version the next day, her third long-form live video. 139 In January 2013, Rihanna and Brown had rekindled their relationship. 140 Although he remained under probation for their 2009 domestic violence case. 141 The two broke up 4 months later. 142 Rihanna made her feature film debut as Petty Officer Cora Rakes in Battleship, 2012. 143 144 Loosely inspired by the board game of the same name. 145 Both the film and Rihanna's performance received mixed to negative reviews. 146 Neil Genslinger, writing for the New York Times, remarked she was just fine in the rather generic role. 147 In February 2013, Rihanna won the Grammy Award for Best Short-Form Music Video for the music video of We Found Love, 2011. 123 That same month, the official charts company reported she had sold 3.87 million records in the country over the past year, placing her at number 1 among the 2013 Brit Awards artist nominees. 148 Her fifth headlining tour, the Diamonds World Tour, launched in March 2013 in support of Unapologetic. 149 Rihanna made a cameo in the comedy film This Is the End, 2013, 150 and later collaborated with rapper Whale on his remix of the single Bad. 151 In December 2013, she topped both the Billboard Hot 100 and UK Singles Chart with a feature on Eminem's song The Monster. 152 153 2014 to 2017, standalone releases and anti. Rihanna performing on stage. Rihanna performing at the Concert for Valor in 2014. In 2014, Rihanna featured on Shakira's single Can't Remember to Forget You. 154 Following the release of Unapologetic and the ensuing tour, she expressed a desire to take a break from recording, saying she wanted a year to just do whatever I want artistically, creatively. 155 In May of that year, she officially parted ways with Def Jam Recordings and transitioned fully to Roc Nation, the label that had been managing her career since October 2010. 156 While working on her 8th studio album, Rihanna released the single 4-5 Seconds, a collaboration with Kanye West and Paul McCartney. Bitch Better Have My Money, and American Oxygen. 157 158 159 None of the three appeared on the album's final track list. 160 In 2015, she starred alongside Jim Parsons and Jennifer Lopez as the voice of Tip in the animated film Home. Rihanna also curated and released a concept album as its soundtrack. 161 In late 2015, Rihanna signed a $25 million deal with Samsung to promote its Galaxy product line, with the company also sponsoring the rollout of her 8th studio album, titled Anti, and its accompanying tour. 162 163 The album was released exclusively on Tidal on January 28, 2016. 164 A dancehall and psychedelic soul record. 165 166 Anti peaked at number 1 on the Billboard 200, marking her second chart-topping record in the US. 167 The lead single, Work, topped the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. 168 with the third and fourth singles, Needed Me and Love on the Brain, peaking within the top 10. 169 170 Announced in November 2015, the Anti-World Tour was launched in March 2016 in support of the album, featuring Travis Scott as the North American opener and Big Sean on select European dates. 171 In 2016, Rihanna appeared as a featured artist on multiple singles, West's famous, uncredited vocals, 172 Calvin Harris's This Is What You Came For, 173 Drake's Too Good, 174 and Mike Will Made It's Nothing Is Promised. 175 This Is What You Came For was a commercial success, peaking at number 2 and 3 in the UK and US, respectively. 173 176 In June 2016, Rihanna released Sledgehammer as part of the film's soundtrack for Star Trek Beyond. 177 In August, she was honored with the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award at the 2016 MTV Video Music Awards, where she performed a series of medleys of her most successful songs. 178 179 In 2017, she featured on Future's Selfish. 180 DJ Khaled's Wild Thoughts. 181 Kendrick Lamar's Loyalty. 182 and N.E.R.D's Lemon. 183 Loyalty won the Her and Lamar the Grammy Award for Best Rap/Sung Performance. 184. In 2017, Rihanna portrayed Marion Crane in a recurring role during the 5th and final season of Bates Motel, which was met with widespread critical acclaim. 185 186 In Luc Besson's sci-fi film Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, 2017, she played a shape-shifting, burlesque-style entertainer and performer in a space station club. She starred alongside Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne. 187 188 189 That year, Rihanna began dating Saudi businessman Hassan Jamil. Their relationship ended 3 years later. 190 191 192 2018, present, hiatus, motherhood, and Super Bowl 57 halftime show. Rihanna was part of the all-female ensemble cast of the heist film Ocean's 8, 2018, directed by Gary Ross. 193 194 The film was a major box office success, earning $300 million globally. 195 In December 2018, Rihanna confirmed that the album would be released in 2019. 196 and later announced that it is a reggae project. 197 Alongside Donald Glover, she starred in the film Guava Island, 2019, in which she played Glover's love interest. 198 In September 2019, it was announced that she had signed with Sony/ATV Music Publishing. 199 In December 2019, Rihanna alluded to her album being complete and indefinitely withholding the release date in an Instagram post. 200. Rihanna appeared on Party Next Door's song Believe It, 2020. 201 American rapper A$AP Rocky confirmed that he and Rihanna were in a relationship in May 2021. 202 She gave birth to their first son the following year. 203 On October 28, 2022, she released Lift Me Up, the lead single from the soundtrack of the film Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and her first solo musical release since Anti. 204 The song earned her nominations for the Golden Globe and Academy Award for Best Original Song. 205 On February 12, 2023, she headlined the Super Bowl 57 halftime show. 206 which marked her first live performance in over 5 years, and the end of her previously self-imposed boycott of the event, which she instigated in solidarity with Colin Kaepernick. 207 Initial reports stated that the performance drew 118.7 million viewers across television and digital platforms. 208 However, Nielsen Media Research later revised the figure to 121.017 million, making it the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in history, surpassing Katy Perry's Super Bowl 49 performance. 209. The Super Bowl performance earned her 5 Primetime Emmy Award nominations, including one for Outstanding Variety Special, Live. 210 Rihanna gave birth to her and Rocky's second son in 2023, having revealed her pregnancy during the halftime performance, making her the first person to headline a Super Bowl halftime show while pregnant. 211 212 In 2025, She voiced Smurfette in the film Smurfs, which saw negative reviews from critics. 213 In May that year, while appearing at the Met Gala, Rihanna revealed she was pregnant with her third child. 214. Artistry. Music and voice. Rihanna is a mezzo-soprano, with a range spanning from B2 to C6. 215 216 217 While recording tracks for her third studio album, Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007, Rihanna took vocal lessons from Ne-Yo. She said of the experience, "I've never had vocal training, so when I'm in the studio, he'll tell me how to breathe and stuff. He'll call out these big fancy words, okay, I want you to do staccato. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is." 67 Her vocal performance on Loud, 2010, received positive reviews from music critics. James Skinner from BBC praised Rihanna's vocals on the song Love the Way You Lie, Part 2, and wrote that her voice is powerful and that it is Rihanna's vocal, at once commanding, soulful, and vulnerable, that anchors the song, and Loud itself. 218 Andy Gill from The Independent feels that California King Bed features her best vocal performance. 219 In a review of Unapologetic, Billboard magazine wrote, Diamonds finds Rihanna doing one of her throatiest, most impassioned vocals to date, on this inspirational pop ballad. 220. John Caramanica of the New York Times stated, over the years, as her game face froze in place, her voice cured into a weapon of emotional chill and strategic indifference. It's decidedly unfriendly, made to give orders. 221 In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked Rihanna at number 68 on its list of the 200 greatest singers of all time. 222. My music is just imagination, being creative, that's what my music is composed with. Being creative and thinking of situations, whether situations I went through or situations I've observed people going through. I can't tell you where I'll see myself in 5 years, but I can tell you I will work my best to be the most successful artist that I can be in 5 years. I want to be remembered as Rihanna. Remembered as being an artist from the Caribbean who came here and made it internationally. Just remembered as me, cause I'm true to my music, and I just want people to realize that and appreciate me for that. Rihanna during her first interview with MTV News. 223. Growing up in Barbados, she mainly listened to reggae, hip-hop, and soca music. 224 When she first came to the US, she was exposed to different types of music, with rock being one of them, and I fell in love with it. Now I love rock music. 224. During her debut, she recorded songs that were inspired by her Caribbean roots and described her early sound as a fusion of reggae, hip-hop, and R&B, with a little something different thrown in. 39 225 Her early dancehall roots can be found on her debut album, Music of the Sun, and its follow-up, A Girl Like Me. 226 Her debut album demonstrates the influence of Rihanna's musical heritage of the Caribbean. Khalifa Sunna of the New York Times complimented its combination of dancehall and reggae, who said, "Dancehall reggae sometimes seems like a furiously insular form of music, but Rihanna is only the latest singer to discover how versatile the genre's spring-loaded electronic rhythms can be." 227 Her debut single, Pon de Replay, features a dancehall pop mixture that infuses a reggae style, while If It's Lovin' That You Want talks about a girl seducing a male to be her boyfriend. 228 Aiming for artistic growth, A Girl Like Me expresses personal experiences that typical 18-year-old girls go through, with ballads that were described as elegant and mature. 226 After her second album, she slowly dismissed her dancehall and reggae roots. Rihanna's musical career has been an experiment with new musical ideas, and stated that she wants to make music that could be heard in parts of the world that I'd never been to. 229 With its provocative subject matter and lyrics, she began incorporating a wide range of genres including pop, R&B, reggae, dubstep, hip-hop and EDM. 230 during a review for Good Girl Gone Bad, Slant magazine to write that Rihanna finally figured out that she's a dance artist and the majority of the album is comprised of up-tempo dance pop songs like Push Up On Me and Don't Stop the Music. 231 It represents a departure from the Caribbean sound of her previous albums and is described as a turning point in her career. 232-233 While the first half of the record shares many 1980s pop influences with songs like Don't Stop the Music and Shut Up and Drive, the second half retreats into standard R&B. 2162. Recorded after the assault by her then-boyfriend, Chris Brown, Rated R had a much darker tone and was filled with various emotions she experienced throughout 2009. 234 In her fifth album Loud, Rihanna reflects on the fun and energetic vibe she had while recording the album. 235 The album is a mixture of ballads, party anthems, and empowering love songs. 236 Talk That Talk was similar to Rated R, as both contain hip-hop, R&B, dancehall, and dubstep genres. 237 Loud and Talk That Talk saw her explore sexuality in her work, S&M and Birthday Cake, and return to her dancehall roots, Man Down and Watch and Learn. 238 She also branched out into house music with tracks like We Found Love, Only Girl, In the World, and Complicated. 239 Her songs are also inspired through record sampling from other artists. 240 Influences. Rihanna has cited Madonna, pictured, as her idol and biggest influence. Rihanna has named Madonna as her idol and biggest influence. She said that she wanted to be the Black Madonna and praised her ability to reinvent herself throughout her career. 241 She noted, I think that Madonna was a great inspiration for me, especially on my earlier work. If I had to examine her evolution through time, I think she reinvented her clothing style and music with success every single time. And at the same time remained a real force in entertainment in the whole world. 241. Another major influence on Rihanna's music and career has been Mariah Carey, whose song Hero she performed when Rihanna was still a teenager at her high school talent show. 242 She revealed that Carey's song Vision of Love was the song that made her want to do music. 243-244. In her youth, she would see Bob Marley on television because of his fame in the Caribbean. 245 She stated, "He's one of my favorite artists of all time, he really paved the way for every other artist out of the Caribbean." 246 She built a shrine in her home dedicated to the reggae legend and has covered Marley's Is This Love and Bob Marley and the Wailers' Redemption song during her concert tours. 247-248 During her childhood, she would go around singing Whitney Houston songs and A Whole New World into her hairbrush so much that her neighbors started calling her Robin Redbreast. 249 She also stated that one of the first songs she remembers falling in love with was Houston's version of I Will Always Love You and that it was really inspiring, and it made me develop a passion for music, so really, she's partly responsible for me being here in this industry. 250-251. Rihanna was also influenced by Janet Jackson, Aaliyah, Tupac, Beyoncé, and Destiny's Child. 252-253-254-255 Other musical influences and idols include Celine Dion 256 Grace Jones 257 Lil' Kim 258 Alicia Keys 259 Prince 260 Feith Dobson 261 262 and Brandy. 21 Rihanna takes influence from the different types of music she discovered when she came to America and revealed that rock music was one of the first genres she fell in love with. 224 She commented, "As I grow older, I want to know more about music. I want to discover more types of music." 21 She cited Brandy's fourth studio album, Aphrodisiac, 2004, as her main inspiration for her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007. 21 In her early career, Her music contains strong influences of Caribbean music, including reggae and dancehall. 263 The music video of the song Rude Boy featured images inspired by her Caribbean roots. 263 Videos and stage. Rihanna has worked with music video director Anthony Mandler on more than a dozen music videos, the first being Unfaithful, 2006. 264 We've done 16 videos together, they're not all tough, yeah, I mean, I'm known for the Disturbias and the Russian roulettes and things like that, but Only Girl, in the World, is certainly an ethereal kind of empowering, beauty-filled video, Mandler said. 264 Jocelyn Vina of MTV wrote, Rihanna, like Madonna, also has a tendency to make truly thought-provoking music videos that fit the songs they represent. Smattered in between glitzier, more glamorous clips, match, and I want us to think about bigger issues. 239 John Bream of the Star Tribune commented I end the tradition of Madonna and Janet Jackson, Rihanna has become the video vixen of the 00s. Rihanna has perfected the pout, the long-legged strut, and trend-setting hairdos that keep women and men alike checking her out on YouTube. 265. George Epaminondas of InStyle considers Rihanna's music videos to be cinematic due to her blend of lush island rhythms and swinging pop and mischievous sensuality. 266. Rihanna performing on Last Girl on Earth tour in Australia. Many of her music videos were shot as short films exploring issues such as love triangles, abuse, and substance abuse romance, including We Found Love and Man Down. 239 Her music video for Umbrella shows Rihanna's transition into adulthood and her newly adopted image. 267 The dark, creepy scenes of Disturbia have been compared to Michael Jackson's Thriller. 268 The video for Russian Roulette features Rihanna in a padded room playing a game of Russian roulette with her partner. A scene of Rihanna being approached by a speeding car at night was compared to the altercation with Chris Brown. 269 In 2011, Rihanna released 3 controversial music videos about sadomasochism, rape, and domestic violence. 270 Man Down, which features Rihanna shooting a man in a train station, was criticized by the Parents Television Council. 271 We Found Love, which shows Rihanna and her love interest in a drug-filled unhealthy relationship. 269 sparked criticism from the Rape Crisis Center for its message. 272 Charn Graham of the Houston Press defended her, asking, why should Rihanna's music videos get everyone riled up when others equally sexual and controversial videos are in rotation? She just likes to make music videos that give us something to talk about. 270. Rihanna was the first woman to pass 2 billion cumulative views on the music video website Vivo. 273. Dennis Armstrong of Canadian Online Explorer commented on her performance at the Ottawa Blues Fest, saying her show was a Disney-esque choreographed fantasy of non-stop hip-swiveling, sassy attitude, and personal endearments and a string of funky, sugar-free hits. 274. Her performance of Disturbia at the 2008 MTV Video Music Awards was ranked 10th best on the MTV Video Music Awards, according to a Billboard poll. 275 Her revealing leather costumes during her Good Girl Gone Bad tour were highly criticized by the Pan-Malaysian Islamic Party, who recommended that her concert tour should be banned. 276 Whilst commenting on her third album's accompanying tour, The Times compared Rihanna's stage wardrobe styling to that of Janet Jackson and called her a vision of Ann Summers couture in thigh-high boots and a few scraps of black PVC. 277. In the October 2011 issue of British Vogue, Rihanna said her performance outfits and appearances are all an act, T-hat's not me. That's a part I play. You know, like it's a piece of art, with all these toys and textures to play with. 278. Public image. Rihanna wearing haute couture fashion at the 2017 Met Gala in Manhattan, representing the theme Rei Kawakubo/Comme des Garçons art of the in-between. Known for her style and image, the media have constantly followed the evolution of Rihanna's music and fashion sense. 279 In 2009, New York Magazine described Rihanna's early look as that of a cookie-cutter teen queen, noting she has the ability to shift looks dramatically and with such ease. 280 Around the time of the release of her second studio album, A Girl Like Me, 2006, many critics felt that Rihanna's style, sound and musical material were too similar to those of Beyoncé. 280 136 In an interview with Look magazine, Rihanna spoke about comparisons to Beyoncé. Beyoncé is a great artist and I feel honored to be mentioned in the same sentence, but we're different performers with different styles. 282 She revealed during Oprah's Next Chapter that Def Jam's Pop Princess blueprint made her feel claustrophobic during her early years with the label. 283 According to Rihanna, I felt like they were giving me a blueprint. They had a brand, they had an idea of what they wanted me to be without figuring out who I was. 284. With the release of her third album, Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007, Rihanna dismissed her innocent image for an edgier look with a new hairstyle, which was inspired by Charlize Theron's bob cut in the science fiction thriller Aeon Flux, 2005. 285 She followed the likes of recording artists Janet Jackson and Christina Aguilera, who also shed their innocent image for an edgier look and sound. 286. Nico Amarca of Hisnobiety magazine wrote, over the course of her now 10-year career, Rihanna has undergone one of the most significant aesthetic metamorphoses the world has ever seen. 287 Her image and fashion has changed several times with different hairstyles since the release of her third album. 288 289 She commented that as a child she used to watch her mother get dressed and that her love and admiration for fashion started with her mother. 290 When putting together her own wardrobe she stated, "It's become more about taking a risk. I always look for the most interesting silhouette or something that's a little off." 291. Jess Cartner-Morley of The Guardian wrote that Rihanna's wardrobe is the most talked about, influential, and dissected in pop right now, and that whatever she wears is immediately reproduced on the high street, because it sells. 292 Country singer Miranda Lambert admires Rihanna's fashion and style, stating, "I don't necessarily get inspired by the whole no bra thing, but I love that you never know what she's going to wear. It always keeps you guessing, which makes her sassy and interesting." 293. In an interview with Alexa Chung during Vogue Festival 2015, Balmain designer Olivier Rousteing praised Rihanna by stylistically comparing her to some of the biggest fashion icons in music history, such as Madonna, David Bowie, Michael Jackson, and Prince. 294 Commenting on the cultural expectation for pop stars to be role models, Rihanna said, "Being a role model became more of my job than I wanted it to be. But no, I just want to make music. That's it." 278. In a May 2013 interview with MTV, the Vagina Monologues writer and feminist Eve Ensler said, "I'm a huge Rihanna fan. I think she has a kind of agency over her sexuality and she's open about her sexuality, she has enormous grace and she's immensely talented." 295 296. Described as one of the sexiest women of her generation 297 298 She revealed that being a sex symbol is not a priority and that it's definitely flattering, but also uncomfortable. 299. Her appearance has landed her on the cover of magazines such as Maxim, FHM, Rolling Stone 300, and in December 2012, Rihanna became the first woman to be featured on the cover of GQ magazine's Men of the Year issue. 300 Rihanna made her first appearance at the Met Gala in 2007. 301 She has made 8 appearances in the years since. In 2015, for China, Through the Looking Glass, her Guopei-designed yellow dress garnered the most attention of the event, accruing 1 billion impressions on social media. 302 The Dress, which had taken 2 years to make before Rihanna came across it. 303 became the subject of a documentary by Pietra Brett Kelly, entitled Yellow is Forbidden. 304 She co-chaired the 2018 Heavenly Bodies, Fashion and the Catholic Imagination themed event, wearing Maison Margiela. 305. One of the richest celebrities, as of 2021, Rihanna is the world's wealthiest female musician with an estimated net worth of $1.7 billion. 306 She was also listed among Forbes' top 100 most powerful women of 2019. 307 In 2020, she debuted on the Sunday Times Rich list, claiming third place on the list of Britain's richest musicians. 308. Legacy. Rihanna is regarded by the media as a pop and fashion icon, particularly since her third studio album Good Girl Gone Bad, 2007. 309 310 311 312 313 Nick Levine of Digital Spy described Good Girl Gone Bad as the closest thing to a thriller that 2007/08 is likely to produce. 314 According to Rolling Stone, her single Umbrella and her eighth album Anti are regarded as among the 500 greatest songs of all time and 500 greatest albums of all time, respectively. 315 316 Her single work has been credited by a Billboard editor for bringing the dancehall genre to the forefront of mainstream American music. 317 In 2017, music critic Jason Green of Pitchfork described Rihanna as the most influential singer of the past decade, writing, "Rihanna's voice has become an industry-wide idea, a creative property like the Korg synth or Lindrum. We crave the thrill that you can only get when a dozen or so good ideas manifest themselves in a single voice. For the past 10 years, that voice has more or less been Rihanna's. Now that she's gleefully shredding it apart, she'll probably generate a whole new comet trail of Rihannabes. Inevitably, none of them will carry the charge, the glassy cool and subterranean heat, of the real thing." 318. Waxwork of Rihanna at Madame Tussauds, London. In August 2018, Billboard ranked Rihanna as the 10th biggest Hot 100 artist of all time, as well as the 5th biggest female act of all time. 319 320 Billboard also ranked Rihanna the top Hot 100 artist of the 2010s decade. 321 In 2014, Time magazine's pop stardom ranking metric ranked Rihanna second in history, based on all-time chart performance and contemporary significance. 322 In 2013, Rihanna was also named the most influential pop star in the United Kingdom by UK Channel 4 Music. 323 Moreover, Rihanna's work has influenced numerous artists such as Lorde. 324 Sam Smith. 325 Little Mix, Rita Ora. 326 Billie Eilish. 327 Selena Gomez. 328 Justin Bieber. 329 Ellie Goulding. 330 Kim Petras. 331 Jennie from Blackpink. 332 Marilyn Manson. 333 Jessie J. 334 SZA. 335 Fifth Harmony. 336 Camila Cabello. 337 Demi Lovato. 338 Alexandra Stan. 339 Grimes. 340 Sleater Kinney. 341 Tegan and Sarah. 342 343 Cover Drive. 344 Cher Lloyd. 345 Bad Gil. 346 and Era Istrify. 347. Rihanna has become a dominating figure on social media and internet streaming, ranking at number 1 on Forbes' 2012 list of social networking superstars. 348 Time magazine included Rihanna on its 100 most influential people in the world issue in 2012 and 2018. 349 with Stella McCartney writing, "She's one of the coolest, hottest, most talented, most liked, most listened to, most followed, most impressive artists at work today, but she does it in her own stride. She works hard, Very hard. She gives to her fans, friends, and foundation not just herself but her energy and spirit. 350. Rihanna was ranked one of the best dressed women in 2018, by luxury fashion retailer Net-a-Porter. 351. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked her at 68 on their list of 200 greatest singers of all time. 222. Billboard placed her at number 3 on its 2024 Greatest Pop Stars of the 21st Century list. 352. And number 2 on its 2025 Top 100 Women Artists of the 21st Century list. 353. Rihanna has an honorary title of Ambassador for Culture and Youth in Barbados. 354. On February 22, 2008, former Barbados Prime Minister David Thompson launched the National Rihanna Day in their country. Although it is not a bank holiday, Barbadians celebrate it every year in honor of Rihanna. 355. 356. 357. 358. In February 2017, Rihanna was named Harvard University's Humanitarian of the Year by the Harvard Foundation. 359. During Rihanna's third annual Diamond Ball, former U.S. President Barack Obama praised Rihanna's work and stated, "She's become a powerful force in the fight to give people dignity." 360. On September 20, 2018, Rihanna was appointed by the government of Barbados to be an ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary, with special duties of promoting education, tourism, and investment for the island. 361. 362. 363. At the 2020 NAACP Image Awards, hosted by BET, Rihanna accepted the President's Award from Derek Johnson. Johnson stated that Rihanna has not only enjoyed a groundbreaking career as an artist and musician but has also distinguished herself as a stellar public servant. From her business achievements through Fenty to her tremendous record as an activist and philanthropist, Rihanna epitomizes the type of character, grace, and devotion to justice that we seek to highlight in our President's Award. 364. Business ventures. Rihanna's first fragrance, Rebelle Fleur, was released in January 2011. 365. According to Rolling Stone, Rebelle Fleur was a financial success and was expected to gross $80 million at retail by the end of 2011. 366. Rihanna's second fragrance, Rebelle, was released in February 2012. 367. The promotional campaign for Rebelle was shot by director Anthony Mandler, who also shot the promotional campaign for Rebelle Fleur. 368. In November 2012, Rihanna released her third fragrance, Nude. 369. Rihanna's fourth women's fragrance, titled Rogue, was released on September 14, 2013, followed by a male version entitled Rogue Men which was released in 2014. 370. 371. On March 30, 2015, it was announced that Rihanna is a co-owner, with various other music artists, in the music streaming service Tidal. The service specializes in lossless audio and high-definition music videos. Jay-Z acquired the parent company of Tidal, Hasbro, in the first quarter of 2015. 372. Including Beyoncé and Jay-Z, 16 artist stakeholders, such as Kanye West, Beyoncé, Madonna, Chris Martin, Nicki Minaj, and more, co-own Tidal, with the majority owning a 3% equity stake. 373. The challenge is to get everyone to respect music again, to recognize its value, stated Jay-Z on the release of Tidal. 374. In 2016, it was revealed that Rihanna would be releasing her music through her own label Westbury Road Entertainment. 375. Which was established in 2005. 376. Westbury Road is the name of her Barbados residence. The music would be distributed through Universal Music Group. 378 Westbury Road Entertainment's artist roster includes Melissa Ford as the label's photographer 379 and Kazaloon. In November 2015, Rihanna and Benoit Demaai launched a beauty and stylist agency named FR8Me. The business based in Los Angeles was set up to assist artists in booking commercials, editorial shoots, ad campaigns, and red carpet appearances. Rihanna stated, "Hair, makeup, and styling play an important role in creativity. I am very involved with that part of my process, so this agency was an organic thing for me to do." The roster includes Rihanna's makeup artist Mila Morales, wardrobe stylist Jason Bolden, hairstylist Patricia Morales and Marsha Hamilton. 380 In addition to FR8Me, Rihanna opened a photo agency called The Dog Ate My Homework, which represents photographers Eric Isla and Deborah Anderson. 380. Fenty. Main article, Fenty, Fashion House. Fenty was a fashion brand by Rihanna under the luxury fashion group LVMH, which launched in May 2019. She was the first woman to create an original brand for LVMH and also the first woman of color to lead an LVMH brand. The house launched in a pop-up store on May 22, 2019, in Paris, before launching worldwide online on May 29 and included clothing, accessories, and footwear. It was the first line that LVMH had launched since 1987. The fashion brand was described as groundbreaking, and in a statement regarding the launch, Rihanna said that she had been given a unique opportunity to develop a fashion house in the luxury sector, with no artistic limits. 381. Due to the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, in February 2021, Rihanna and LVMH decided to put on hold her Fenty fashion house and continue building on the Savage X Fenty lingerie line. 382. Rihanna exclusively uses her surname for business endeavors not related to her music career so as not to conflate the two. 383 In January 2019, Rihanna filed a lawsuit against her father, Ronald Fenty, over the use of the Fenty name for commercial purposes. The lawsuit alleges Rihanna's cosmetics brand, Fenty Beauty, was damaged commercially by her father's company, Fenty Entertainment, through misrepresentation of his company being affiliated with her. 384 In September 2021, Rihanna dropped the lawsuit against her father. 17. Fenty Beauty. Main article, Fenty Beauty. Rihanna in a promotional video for Fenty Beauty in 2018. In 2017, Rihanna launched her cosmetics company Fenty Beauty under LVMH's Kendo brands. Rihanna owns 50% of Fenty Beauty, according to Forbes. 385 The partnership was worth $10 million and would see Rihanna release various beauty products. 386 The first installment of Fenty Beauty was released on September 8, 2017, in stores and online, available in over 150 countries. 387 It included an array of products including foundations, highlighters, bronzers, blush compacts, lip glosses and blotting sheets and was praised for its diverse range for all skin colors. 388 Time magazine named Fenty Beauty as one of the 25 best inventions of 2017, highlighting the breadth of its range. 389 In what has been dubbed the Fenty effect, the brand revolutionized the way other cosmetic brands approach diversity in marketing and product formulation. Suddenly beauty houses, niche establishment, and those in between, began extending their shade ranges to accommodate a wider variety of skin tones. 40 shades became the new standard. 390. Savage X Fenty. Main article, Savage X Fenty. In 2018, Rihanna launched a lingerie brand named Savage X Fenty. The line was born from Rihanna's vision creating an inclusive brand. Products come in a variety of shades to match all skin tones and a range of sizes. 391 She showcased the brand at the New York Fashion Week in September 2018. The brand has been positively reviewed by the public for including plus-size models in their promotion, though some fans argued there were not enough plus sizes. 392. In September 2019, Rihanna promoted the brand in a show again during the New York Fashion Week held at the Barclays Center with modeling appearances from models Alex Weck, Bella Hadid, Cara Delevingne, actress Laverne Cox, and musicians Normani and 21 Savage. The show featured performances by DJ Khaled, Halsey, ASAP Ferg, Big Sean, Migos, Fat Joe, Fabulous, and Tierra Whack. 393 and premiered on Amazon Prime Video on September 20, 2019, as the Savage X Fenty Show. The show was renewed for a third time in 2020, with appearances from musicians such as Travis Scott, Rosalia, Bad Bunny, Ella Mai, Lizzo, Big Sean, Miguel, Roddy Ricch, and Rico Nasty. This version also premiered on Amazon Prime Video on October 2, 2020. 394. Fenty Skin. In July 2020, Rihanna launched a skincare brand called Fenty Skin. 395. Fenty Hair. In June 2024, Rihanna launched a hair care brand called Fenty Hair. The products of the brand are intended to be suitable for all hair types, textures, and routines. 396. Other ventures. Rihanna at her Fenty x Puma fashion show in February 2016. Rihanna has ventured into other businesses and industries. In October 2005, Rihanna struck an endorsement deal with Secret Body Spray. 397. In 2010, Rihanna featured in the Optus commercial, in conjunction with Optus supporting Rihanna's Last Girl on Earth. 398. The same year Rihanna also featured in the Kodak commercial along with rapper Pitbull. 399. In October 2010, she released a photo book 400 featuring photos from the Last Girl on Earth tour and served as an accompaniment to her fourth studio album Rated R, 2009. In 2011, Rihanna was the face of Nivea and Vita Coco. 401. 402. Her first television program, Styled to Rock, premiered in the UK in August 2012 on Sky Living. In the 10-week series, Rihanna, Nicola Roberts, Lisa Cooper, and Henry Holland assist up-and-coming British designers with their clothing lines. 403. The US version of Styled to Rock premiered on October 25, 2013, on Bravo. 404. In 2013, Rihanna collaborated with MAC Cosmetics and released her own summer, fall, and holiday lines of makeup called Riri Hearts MAC. 405. In July 2013, lager production company Budweiser announced that Rihanna had become a part of their global Made for Music campaign, also co-starring Jay-Z. 406. Early in her career, Rihanna made clear her interest in fashion and desire to work in the clothing design industry. Regarding this, she said, "Fashion has always been my defense mechanism." 407. In November 2011, Rihanna announced her first fashion venture with Armani. 408. In February 2013, Rihanna presented her first women's fashion collection at London Fashion Week for British brand River Island, collaborating with her personal stylist Adam Selman. 409. They published 3 more collections for the brand. 410. 411. Rihanna then collaborated with numerous fashion houses including Dior, Stance, and Manolo Blahnik. 412. 413. 414. In March 2015, Rihanna was chosen as the new face of Dior, making her the first black woman to be the face of the brand. 415. In 2014, Rihanna became the creative director of the fashion sportswear Puma, overseeing the brand's women's line, which will include collaborations in apparel and footwear. 416. The following year, Rihanna released her first trainer with Puma and it sold out online within 3 hours of its pre-sale launch. 417. Over the next 2 years, Rihanna released various other footwear in different colorways and styles, ranging from black, white, and red, to black, red, and blue. 418. In 2016, Rihanna released her first line of black, white, and red colorways, which were all met positively by both critics and buyers. 418 419 2016 saw Rihanna debut her first clothing line in collaboration with Puma at New York Fashion Week. The collection was met with rave reviews from fashion critics. 420. Philanthropy. Main article, Clara Lionel Foundation. In 2006, she created her Believe Foundation to help terminally ill children. 421 422 to help raise awareness and combat HIV/AIDS. Rihanna and other public figures designed clothing for the February 2008 H&M Fashion Against AIDS line. 423 424 in 2008, Rihanna performed a series of charity concerts entitled A Girls' Night Out 421 to benefit the Believe Foundation. The concerts were made free for the public. Money from sponsors and advertisers were to be donated to provide medical supplies, school supplies, and toys to children in need. 425 426 427 in September 2008, Rihanna contributed to the song Just Stand Up, with 15 other female artists, who shared the stage to perform the song live on September 5, 2008, during the Stand Up to Cancer television special. The proceeds from the single were given to the fundraiser. 428 The television special helped raise $100 million for cancer research. 429. I feel strongly that all children everywhere should be afforded the opportunity of a quality education, therefore I'm proud to announce Clara Lionel Foundation's partnership with education advocacy leaders like the Global Partnership for Education and Global Citizen. Working together, I know we can amplify our efforts and ensure that millions of children gain access to education globally. Rihanna, discussing the Clara Lionel Foundation's partnership with the Global Partnership for Education. 430. Rihanna founded the Clara Lionel Foundation, CLF, in 2012, in honor of her grandparents, Clara and Lionel Braithwaite. Programs include the Clara Braithwaite Center for Oncology and Nuclear Medicine at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados, and education programs. 431 432 The CLF hosts an annual Diamond Ball charity fundraiser event. The inaugural event in 2014 raised over $2 million and the second raised over $3 million. 433 434 On February 12, 2012, Rihanna performed a benefit show at the House of Blues to raise money for the Children's Orthopedic Center and the Mark Taper Johnny Mercer Artists Program at Children's Hospital. 435 In November 2012, Rihanna gave $100,000 to food bank donation for Hurricane Sandy. 436 On January 3, 2014, Rihanna was part of the Mac Viva Glam campaign, which benefits women, men, and children living with HIV/AIDS. 437 In March 2020, Rihanna donated $5 million to COVID-19 relief. 438 And followed that up with additional donations of personal protective equipment to the state of New York. 439 And an